Hi y'all. It's that day, it's that time. You know what that means. We need to come up with a new intro. So, YouTube being YouTube and StreamYard being StreamYard, there's a serious lag between when people come in and talk and this whole thing starts. So, I'm just going to sit here awkwardly waiting for people to show up. As usual. Do 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 do. Hey, Braid Master, how are you? What's new? Haven't seen you in a little bit, because I wasn't here last week, so. What are you working on? What you sipping on? If you have any news, feel free to share it. I'll sit here and wait for people to stroll in. Showing that there are people here, but nobody's talking. But of course, with YouTube and StreamYard's lag, you'll have that. So let's go sit here for a minute. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? What's new? What are you working on? What are you drinking? Have any news? Feel free to share it. Ray Master, you need some water. You're currently making a tank top with Twister Solid from Hobie. Of course, yes. I know your love of Hobie runs deep. Mine does too. Although I really am becoming rather keen with ice yarns. What color twister are you using? Okay, well, I'm seeing that there are people here. People are coming in and out, or either that or my calendar's all wacky, which wouldn't surprise me. Um, as the title of this live shows, I have a couple things I do want to talk about. So, gonna wait for a few more people to stroll in here, and then we'll get started. Let's see. Braid Master said hi to Kathleen. I just got a huge comment dump. Okay, Kathleen said, feeling a bit better today, finishing socks, drinking a pumpkin spice tea. Hi, VJ. Happy Humpty Day to you too. Let us know what you're working on, what you're sipping on. If you have any news, feel free to share it. Brave Master, you're making a purple and green tank top out of the Twister Solids. Okay, cool. Now, refresh my memory. The Twister Solids, they're like one solid color, right? Or are they ombres? I can't remember. I have several twisted in my stash. I can't. Well, the ones I have are not variegated ombres. VJ saying hi to everyone. Hey, Catherine. You dealing with a drama queen sister not getting enough attention? I think we all have one of those. VJ has a red and white slouch hat on the hook and tea in her cup. Cool. Okay, so I will start with, I guess, the works in progress and the finished objects because I actually have both. Can you believe it? Because you guys, I wasn't here last week because sorry I had to cancel, but we were all down with whatever that bug was. So this whole family was just laying around looking at each other like, oh. So, yeah, there was no way I could have actually. Okay, there was no way I could have done anything remotely resembling alive on Wednesday because I was barely upright. So my apologies for having to cancel, but it seems like that bug was running through everybody's family because it was like everybody I knew had somebody, at least one person in their family that was down with that bug, and the Yarny community wasn't much better. So let me check chat again. Catherine is drinking a homemade version of a diet cherry limeade, and crocheting another lamb for a friend in Oregon. Well, that's cool. Crochet Beast is here. Hi everyone, I'm drinking tea and making a thumper rabbit corner to corner blanket. Awesome. Okay, so last week I was sick, so obviously I wasn't here. I didn't make a whole lot of chats last week, or lives that I remember. Really, literally, the last productive thing I did last week was my Monday, Management Monday video. So last week was pretty much a wash across the board. So this week has been a little better. A friend of mine tagged me in a post on Facebook and was asking if it was a crochet post and asked me if I could make it. I took a look at it and I was like, yeah, sure. I could probably pull that off. And one of my dogs is whining. I'm sorry. She's mad because, no, he's mad because his owner just left to go get his other owner from work. But they should stop whining here in a second. So what was I saying? Oh, so a friend of mine asked if I could make this particular item, and I was like, sure, and it had a pattern attached. So I clicked the link, and I went and I paid for the pattern. It's like a $2 pattern. And the pattern was pretty bad. It was It was charts. Oh, good God, Kira. Now the other one is chimed in. First it was the boy, Zeus. Now it's Kira. Kira's wine can put a knife. It's like a knife through the brain. So I'm sorry. My apologies. She should stop here in a second. Anyway, the pattern was pretty bad. It was a chart that I'm okay with reading charts, but even this one seemed like a complete and total foreign language. And speaking of foreign language, the instructions to read the chart and the instructions for the pattern were also in a foreign language. So I did what any good crocheter would do. I closed the pattern, I pulled up a picture, and I analyzed it, and I recreated it so that I could make it. And with a little bit of, oh my God, Kira! With a little bit of work here and there, I figured it out. So now you might be wondering, well, what was the item? Well, have you seen those flower bookmarks? That's what they were. And the picture that my friend shared, she said there was like 5 or 6 of them, and there was one in particular she liked, and it was a purple and white pansy because it reminded of her grandmother. So I made her this. The leaves are curling, but you can see. And I tagged her, and I'm like, and I shared a picture of it, and I tagged her. I'm like, how do you like it? She's like, oh, I love it. So I'm probably gonna be able to this weekend and give it to her. So yes, so this is the flower bookmark that are all the rage this year, apparently. The pattern, like I said, was bad, but I managed to recreate it. And I'm probably going to write the pattern up because this literally is my pattern. So I made that one. And then I was kind of feeling inspired. So this tassel's bad. I made this one too. So those are my finished objects. I'm working on a third, but me being me, I'm getting a little over ambitious with it. And I'll probably finish it later tonight. No, I gotta do a paper tonight. I'll probably finish it tomorrow, and then I'll show it to you next week. Kira, calm down. So, anyway, those are my finished objects. And you guys have been a little chatty, so let me catch up in the chat. Everybody saying hello to each other. Oh, Kathleen, you had it as well? Oh, yeah, it was bad. That was no fun at all. Oh, I'm glad you took. I'm glad you liked that video because that was the business entity one, the different types of businesses. Via saying hello to Kathleen and VJ. Kathleen again. So glad the sound on this phone stinks. I can't hear the dog well. I'm glad you can because she was driving me crazy. Thank you. You guys think they're cute. Okay, so cool. Now my friend asked me what I was charging for it, and I have no idea. I don't know. I think that anything over $5 would be ridiculous. And the only reason why I would charge $5 for it was because I literally had to create the pattern. So I don't know. I'm a charger. I might not charge her anything. I might just give it to her. But I am probably going to write the pattern and put the pattern up on my Etsy shop, and then probably like a $2 pattern. I don't know. I haven't really flushed the whole thing out in my head yet. But anyway, so those are my finished objects. And my work in progress, well, I've got 15 million works in progress, but the one sitting in front of me right now is a triangle. I don't know if this is going to be a shawl or a bandana or a scarf. I haven't decided yet. But I'm really just messing with ice yarns just to see how I like how they work out. So, triangle shawl. Literally just started it. The beginning part of this is just your typical double crochet. Then you've got I don't even know what to call this. What, square stitch? I don't know. Where you double crochet, skip, double crochet. And now I put a a row of double crochet, and now I'm doing extended double crochets, front post extended double crochets. So that's what this is. And I've got two or three more stitches for the pattern repeat, and then I think I'll decide after that whether I'm going to continue it or whether I'm just going to cut it off where it is and keep it as a bandana or a scarf or something. I don't know. But I'm really, like I said, I was really just doing it because I wanted to work up this ice yarn to see how it worked up. And I think it's pretty. I like it. I really want the rainbow Picasso, because this is Picasso, in case I haven't mentioned that, for another project I want to work on. But for this project, this is pretty. I can find a million things to match this with in my wardrobe, so that'll work. And like I said, I'm really using it as a sampler to see how different stitches work with this yarn. You know what I've said before. A busy yarn normally needs a simple stitch, but I have some busy stitches that I think will actually work with this yarn because the colors are just so. I don't know. The color changes are so short. I think it'll work with it, but I'll let you know when I get to those actual stitches. So that's my work in progress. My other works in progress I haven't started yet, and I need to start them because the kid's going to need them next week. Um, she wants a leprechaun bag, and she wants a St. Patty's Day bow tie. So I have to work on those. I'm probably gonna do those this weekend so that she can have them for school next week. And that's the current status of my current finished objects and works in progress. There you go. There you go. Say, Kathleen said, "Tell her she has the original creation, so she should talk it up so it will sell." She talks herself up anyway. She's actually one of my friends that is the I'm trying to say. She's caused me to create several different things in the past. She's the one that got me started on the cat couches. She's also the one that got me started. I want to say on the slouchy hats. Cause I had been making them, and then I started making them because she wanted one or somebody wanted one. And now the bookmarks are her too. So she's forever like, "Go, hey, can you make this? Hey, this would be cool. Hey, can I have this?" So yeah, and she's forever yelling at me. She says I don't charge enough for my stuff. So whatever price I told her, she'd probably pay it. But I'm just being realistic. Crochet Beast is saying the double crochet chain one double crochet I call window stitch. That works. That's what it is. With the little windows. Yeah, the color's really pretty. I mean, it's really pretty yarn. Um, it's just that I like the rainbow one better because I'm a primary color girl, and the rainbow Picasso is primary colors. There's a grandkid's hand. What? Okay. Kiara wanted me to tell you guys that she went to a hockey game in our hometown for a school field trip today. Speak up.
It was the Wheeling Nailers.
She can't come on screen because she's not dressed. What else you want to say?
Huh?
What else did you want to say?
Okay, I just saying I, I went there.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. It was a party.
It was a party.
Yeah.
Did the Nailers win?
The other team got like 4 points, and the other team got like 1 point. Well, they got 1 point.
Our home team lost 4-1. That's what she's saying. But she said she had a good time, and she just wanted to let you guys know. So say goodbye.
Bye bye. Mom said maybe we could go to the Nailers game.
Oh, okay.
Again.
All right.
Bye
bye. Bye. She had to make an appearance in some way, shape, or fashion. Yes, she does. She comes up with all kinds of interesting ideas for me. Crojo Corner has an awesome leprechaun knitting machine gnome. It's so cool. I have to look that up. I haven't pulled out my Addy in a while. I might have to pull that out and see if I can make something with it. You don't have a knitting machine? Bummer. Like I said, I have one, but I haven't used it in ages. I don't remember the last time I used that. Sounds like a great day for her. Yeah, she said she had fun. So, and now she's bugging her mom to take her to another hockey game. And her mom is like the least sporty person you'll ever meet. Second only maybe to her dad. Neither of them are into sports at all. So the two of them taking her to a hockey game would be amusing. Because I'm really the sports person in the house. Now I'm the one you're gonna find watching football. I'm the one that's sitting around waiting for March Madness to start. Go to our heels. Um, nobody else in this house could care less. Did they all still have their teeth? Maybe that is Canadian hockey. Oh no, that's an issue here too. Yeah, the team that we have here, the Wheeling Nailers, actually is a feeder team for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that makes things interesting. Every once in a while, one of the Penguins will come down and they'll like do like events at our games here. So how you get along well? You're not a sporty person either. Okay. Um, I I used to be all about football. I mean, I can't see it. I mean, yeah, come on. Yeah, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. Um, college ball. I watched University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Basketball. I don't do college football at all. But yeah. So I used to be way more into sports than I am now. Now I just kind of I glance at it and go, oh, okay, cool, or oh, we won, yeah. Every once in a while, I'll try to catch a game or two, but for the most part, you know, I'm not anywhere near as into it as I used to be. But my kid and her significant other are into it even less than I am, which basically is zero. Yeah, so okay, yeah, I'll see you when you get back. Kathleen is saying, "Cool, I love hockey. If I'm there, not so much on TV. Yeah, there's certain sports that just don't transfer well on TV to me. Hockey and baseball. Watching baseball on TV is like watching paint dry. I don't see the point at all. I don't know why anybody does it. So anyway, she just wanted to let you know she had fun today. So and be a part of the stream because she has to be a part of the stream. Yeah, how could she not? Okay, so that takes me to my next topic. And Catherine, are you paying attention because you started this? And like I told you last week, this is going to be this is going to become a part of my live. So don't say you weren't warned because I told you. I have it in a message. So I was watching Bagaday's video on her yarn stash, which she, according to her, has destashed down to basically 3 bins of yarn, and they're pretty much all the yarns that she uses to do her tutorials. Well, some people took her at face value and was like, "Hey, if that's the stash you want, then go for it. You do you." Others, however, basically called her a liar. They said that she was just showing that as her stash, and that she had a real stash hidden away somewhere. I fall into the category of, your stash is your stash, you do you. I don't see what reason she'd have to lie about her stash. Um, I don't see what reason she would have to bring it up if she was just going to lie about it. So, anyway, Catherine and I ended up having this rather interesting conversation about yarn stashes. Catherine is on the side that she thinks that she has a bigger stash than she's showing. I, like I just said, believe that her stash is what she said she showed her stash what to be. But this led us into a conversation about when is your stash, and when is your stash inventory. Now, I believe that if it's yarn that you buy with the intent to use it for something, even if it's just to resell it or give it away, it's actually part of your inventory. It's not your stash. And your stash yarn is yarn that you just bought because it was pretty and you wanted it, and you have no idea how you wanted to use it or plan to use it. You just had to have it. That's your stash. So, however, I don't think Catherine believes that there's a difference between the two. So, Catherine, feel free to state your position clearly so everybody knows which side, which is which, what you actually believe. Because I don't want to misquote you. Catherine's laughing. Yeah, yuck it up. I think she doesn't like to deal with people calling her on it, so she is downplaying it. But if that's the case, why bring it up at all? There'd be no reason for her to bring it up. My guess is she was showing her stash because a lot of people were like, a lot of people don't believe that she gives away all the yarn she gives away either. It's something else I don't have a problem with believing because I mean, what would be the point of bringing it up if you're going to lie about it? I mean, why? Hi, Butter Roll Boutique. How are you? It's Dorothea, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember people's names, but it's not my strong suit. I'm sorry. So if it's wrong, my apologies. If it's right, yay, go me. Kathleen, inventory mostly. I mostly knit for others. If I'm saying hi to Butter Roll Boutique. Catherine says she started buying the kits because they were pretty. Then she found a purpose for some of it. Well, no, from what I understand, she always buys the kits and then okay, she doesn't read patterns. So if she's buying kits, I can only assume that she's buying them with the sole purpose of commissioning them out to other people. Why buy a kit when you can't read the pattern the kit's connected to? So anyway, we're not talking about kits. We're talking about a yarn stash. Buying a kit is something that you buy with an intended purpose. I mean, very few people buy yarn kits and then turn around and use the yarn for something else. Of course, I did that. Not, no, because I had bought a kit from um, it's a yarn shop in Michigan. I can never remember the name. Michigan Fine Yarns. Michigan. Somebody tell me what the name of that place is. But I bought the kit, but then I got the pattern and took a look at it and didn't like the pattern, so I repurposed all the yarn. Um, but most people don't do that. So anyway, my side is I believe that your inventory is yarn that you buy with the purpose of making something specific, whether it's to sell, to gift, to donate, what have you. And that the stash yarn is yarn you buy because you just saw it, it was gorgeous, you wanted it. Which, in AKA, in my case, majority of my Malabrigo. I bought that yarn because it was pretty. I have yet to make a full finished piece with my Malabrigo yarn. Um, what I want to make hasn't revealed itself yet. So I'm figuring as soon as it reveals itself, I will start using it. But until then, I just take it out every once in a while, look at it, squeeze it, call it pretty, fake it for being mine, and then put it back and go back to using the yarns I normally use for stuff that I sell. So, Michigan Fine Yarns. That's it. Thank you, VJ. Thank you. See, I could have said VJ will know. I figured you would. So anyway, do you think that the yarn, um, do you think there's a difference between your inventory yarn and your stash yarn, or do you think it's all the same? Let me know. Thea said, I think she has a yarn stash and a separate yarn collection. Okay. She commissioned a lot of them for her personal use, but she has a bunch of in the video she posted. It's her gig, and I don't really care, but I'm still hesitant to believe her. Well, she has a bunch in the video she posted because she commissioned those out for her auction this summer. Remember? She's having a huge auction this summer, and she's auctioning those off. Yes, that's what she said. She kept 2 or 3 of them for her own use. The rest of them go for the auction to raise funds for animal shelters in her area. Yeah. Fear for the win. Okay. I think inventory is what you buy to sell or to make something to sell. Anything you buy for yourself or gifting is stash. Okay. See, I would put gifting in with inventory, but I can see including it in stash as well. I'm okay with that. Not the same. Gotcha. Catherine, I don't believe she doesn't read patterns either. Some will hate me for that. I have no problem believing she doesn't read patterns. And I'll tell you why I believe she doesn't read patterns. And Thea, if you think what you just said is going to get you hate, what I'm about to say is even worse. As much as I love Crystal's patterns and the stuff she does, her patterns are redundant. She uses the same stitches over and over and over again, just in a different order, and she's good at crochet math. So she knows how to take the different stitches and factor it out so that they all work together. So I have no problem believing she does not read patterns. I know a lot of people who don't read patterns. So, you know, and again, I am not taking anything away from the woman because she does some really awesome work. Her stuff is gorgeous. But if you watch several of her videos in succession, you will see that it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. But where she's smart is she shakes up the yarn she uses for her patterns. So even though she's probably using double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, double crochet over and over again in like 5 or 6 patterns, because she uses such different yarns for each one, they look completely different. But all in all, you know, her patterns are pretty, you know, repetitious. And it's not a slam because let's be real. There's only so many ways you can combine a single crochet, a double crochet, and a half double crochet before you start to repeat yourself. But as a pattern designer that writes patterns, yeah, I have no problem believing she doesn't write patterns. It just doesn't surprise me. It's not a shock at all. That's only because I was there last year. You got to. Oh man, I'd love to visit that place. That place just looks like it would be awesome to visit. Mine's all the same. She said she was done. Right on, VJ. Yeah, I'm jealous. You're thinking the same thing about our stitches. I agree. Her patterns are very similar. She can't help it putting out a pattern a day. There are only so many things she can do to make it different. Exactly. There's only so many ways you can combine because let's be real. Single crochet, half double crochet, treble crochet, or triple crochet. Everything we do is a combination of those 4 stitches. There's only so many ways you can combine them. We're talking about crystal bag a day crochet, and a discussion Catherine and I had prompted me to ask whether you're about whether you consider your yarn stash inventory or just a stash, and what how you differ between the two. I do too. I think she's awesome. It was awesome. I told my family to leave me and come back in a couple of hours. That would be me if I were there. That would be me at in that store easily. But like big YouTubers, they got to play things up a bit. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she could be lying about her stash. She could be lying about writing patterns. I just don't think she is. I don't see what she would gain from it. She would probably she's getting as much grief for not having a stash as she got when she had one. Kathleen said, I think a pattern is just a way of communicating, a way of making something that includes written, oral, graphed, all a pattern. I agree. And so technically, I mean, she does write patterns. I mean, she narrates her tutorials. So that's writing the pattern. It's just not in a written form. But, a written pattern, if you're following the guidelines, has abbreviations and things that you have to know how to read and understand. And, I think that there may be some reason that she has a hard time understanding stuff like that, which might be why she doesn't read patterns. I like her inventive ability, and I think she does well in it. Well, yeah, I mean, when you consider that we're working with the same 4 stitches, she does have a way of coming up with different ways of combining them. And I'm not saying that every pattern she makes is redundant. Like, I'm not saying like the pattern she does on Tuesday is identical to Wednesday. I'm just saying that if you go across her body of work, you're going to notice that there's a lot of repetition in her stitches. But again, as I've said, there's only 4 to choose from, so you're going to have that. And I think she's genius by switching up the kinds of yarn she uses for these patterns. That even if they are like the same combination of stitches, you end up with a completely different looking piece because and maybe the first one she used the variegated yarn, and maybe the next one she used the solid, and maybe the third one she used the sparkle, and or maybe the fourth one she, instead of using a worsted weight yarn, she used the chunky. Like she's a genius at switching that up, so that even if Crystal could literally just do a double crochet triangle shawl, and because of her ability to change up her yarns and hook sizes, make them all look like completely different pieces. So I'm not saying that her work looks redundant. Far from it. What I'm saying is that her stitch um, orders can be redundant. So it's not a slam as much as it's just an observation. Because, like I said, between switching up hook sizes and switching up the yarns that she uses, unless you're really paying attention, you wouldn't notice. Yeah, someone else writes the pattern for her and puts it in her Etsy shop. Exactly. She said that several times. Oh, I'd love to see her old house have yarn from wall to wall in each room. Well, apparently her house is being used for something else, which is why she doesn't film there anymore. Apparently her Freddy room and everything's gone. I don't, again, I don't know any details on that. It's not my business. That's just what I've gotten from what she has said in her videos. Maybe she's a bit like me. I'm a bit dyslexic and letters move on me, so I have to read and make a pattern in my mind in order to even attempt it at all. I know she had trouble reading names of yarn. Yeah, I think there's probably something like that going on. But yeah, I just took her face value. She says she doesn't read patterns. Okay, I mean, again, that's kind of a weird thing to want to lie about, especially in the yarny community. So, but anyway, so I'm not quite sure where we all fell in that. Uh, as far as what's stash and what's inventory. So I'm just going to stick to what I believe, that if you use it in the process of selling it or donating it or what have you, it's inventory. If you bought it because it was pretty and you don't know how you're going to use it, you just know you had to have it, that's stash. And your stash can become your inventory. If you take your stash and you like, you know what, this is going to make a great blanket for uh, this person who's commissioning a blanket, then your stash becomes your inventory. And I guess your inventory can become your stash. I mean, like if you bought like 6 skeins of something and you only used 4, and you've decided that you wanted to keep those last 2 to use something to make something personal, then I guess your inventory can become your stash. So you can go back and forth. I just don't believe it's all one big thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, that was what I wanted to talk about the inventory versus the stash. And speaking of using your stash for donation, that's a perfect segue into the final topic of the evening. And I'm still shaking my head over this one because it's a little ridiculous by all involved. So, St. Jude Children's Hospital is doing a fundraiser right now. And if you're on Facebook, you've probably seen the ads. They're recruiting crocheters and knitters to do, I don't know, we'll call it a crochet knit-a-thon, whereas you take pledges for your crochet work, and then you take the funds that are pledged and you donate them to St. Jude's. Okay, now on the surface that sounds simple enough, right? But people were getting tripped up because they were wanting to know where their made items are supposed to go. Well, St. Jude does not want the items; they just want the money. And it makes sense because you're talking about immunocompromised children. You can't have a whole bunch of stuff coming in from Lord knows where that's been worked on by Lord knows who, and drop it in a place that needs to remain as sterile as possible. But people were totally confused because they're like, well, why am I making something and then not donating it? Not understanding that you can do whatever you want with the finished item. You're trying to get donations from people who are watching your progress. So I get it because I've done this whole auction, non-auction before. And I was trying to decide if I was going to participate or not because I was like, I might, you know, make a blanket and then take pledges on it and then raffle it off to somebody that made a pledge. So if I were to do it, that's how. If I were to participate, that's how I would do it. But just watching people melt down, losing their minds because St. Jude didn't want their finished items, just blew me away. I was like, I don't understand why this is so hard to understand. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Kathleen is saying, by the way, I heard about a fiber festival in Dixon, Tennessee, March 24th and 25th. It's cool. BJ is saying they're having a Midwest Fiber Fest in St. Louis, April 28th to April 30th. I know we have one in Columbus. I want to say it's in May. Kathleen's found something interesting. I don't know if it's the Fiber Fest or what I was talking about with St. Jude. Kathleen is saying maybe if people participating can collect the donations and make a list of the names donating and draw from that list. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Like for St. Jude, they set you up with a page, and you use that page to run the fundraiser. So anybody that donates to you is going to be listed on that page anyway. And they're just saying, like, post pics of the progress of the item you're making, talk about like stuff just to keep interaction with the page going. And then at the end, which I believe is the end of April, you take the proceeds of the fundraiser and you donate them to St. Jude's, and then you're free to do whatever you want with the items that you've made. And a lot of people, including me, said that they're probably just raffle them off to people who had donated to the fundraiser. But yeah, people were just totally confused, and some people seemed insulted that St. Jude wouldn't want their crocheted scarves or something, or chemo caps, or whatever it is that they were talking about making. And to be fair, St. Jude didn't do a whole. The only way to really get a good definition about it was to actually officially sign up to be in the fundraiser, which I didn't do because like I said, I'm on the fence about whether I even have time to do something like that. But from what I was told by other people who had already done it, that's where you get the full information. So that's kind of weird. It should have been completely upfront with what it was that they wanted and how it was going to work. Again, I had done non-auction auctions before, so I understood what they were going for. But a lot of other people were really confused. So, but anyway, I found that amusing, and it was the talk of most of my Yarny Facebook groups. People complaining about being confused and feeling like that they're being lied to by St. Jude. It's like they're not lying to you. You just don't understand what they're trying to do, and they're not communicating what they want very well. So you'll have that, I guess. Kathleen said you didn't either. You're so overcommitted right now. You should be ashamed. Oh, girl, don't trust me. I understand about overcommitment. Between the works in progress I have, um, school, in regular life, I don't know how I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm in my last week of my class, and this is my last real class, people, like as in like classroom class. This is it. After I finish this class and I take my break, I have officially entered the master thesis portion of my degree. I am 2 classes from graduating. To say that I am in a low stage of panic mode is an understatement. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, I have to, and I think I told you guys, but my master thesis is also going to double as my grant application for for several places that I want grants for my company or the organization I want to start. So the panic's real. I'm like, I'm 20 weeks out. Well, 22 weeks technically, because again, I'm in the last week of this class, and we have a week break. So I'm 22 weeks from finishing, but those 22 weeks are going to fly, and I have a lot writing on these 22 weeks. So I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm gonna have a whole lot of researching to do, and a whole lot of interviews to conduct, and a whole lot of writing to do, and a whole lot of trying to figure out what needs need filled, and how to plug them, and how to frame my organization so that I can help as much as I possibly can where I can. So between that and this channel and my, like I said, commission pieces, obligations, and just life in general, it's going to be a fun couple of months. Ay, yay, yay. So anyway, Kathleen, I understand what it feels like to be overcommitted, and feel like you need to be committed because you've lost your mind. Oh, that is awesome. I wish you all the best with it all. Well, thank you, Crochet Beast. I appreciate that. Um, so yeah, the next few weeks or next few months should be interesting. But I've gotten this far. You know, I'm sure I'll pull it off somehow. Hopefully, I'm gonna try my best anyway. Kathleen is saying, "Wow, congratulations! That's really smart having double use for your thesis." Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were going to allow me to do it, but then when I read the parameters of the master thesis, I was like, "Yeah, this will work." So yeah, I'm doing double duty with the master thesis. Because quite frankly, I've written grants in the past, and quite frankly, it's the same kind of research. You're like, you find a topic, you research it, you find a need, then you come up with a way to fill that need, and that's basically what I want my organization to do anyway. So it all works hand in hand. Oh, okay, and I'm getting really congested again, which means we must be coming up on our hour, and we are. So let's see. What do I have coming up? Did you guys see the last Management Monday video? I talked about, what did I talk about? What did I? Oh, business insurance, and why I feel it's important that you should have it if you're a business. So, in short, why do I think you should have it? It's a good business expense. In some states, you're required to have it. If you get if you get sued and you don't have it, you're totally screwed. If your partner does something stupid and you get sued, you're screwed along with your partner. Now, if the partner can just take themselves down and leave you out of it, that'd be one thing. But no, 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 no. If you have a partner that does something stupid or gets the company sued, you're on the hook too. One more reason why I don't like simple partnerships. Um, it's a good business expense, and it gives you peace of mind. That's pretty much the gist of it. Go watch it anyway, because I need the view hours. But that's the gist of the Management Monday video. So, anyway, coming up will be another Management Monday video on, you guessed it, next Monday. I don't know what the topic is yet. If you have topic ideas, feel free to drop them. There's a tab. Blah, blah. There is a topic on my community tab about the Management Monday videos for looking for ideas. So if you have an idea, go ahead and drop it in that tab, in that thread. Oh my god, I can't talk. Um, I'm still working on some tutorials. It's hard to find a block of time to film tutorials in this house right now because nobody's on the same schedule, so there's forever people coming in and out. So finding a quiet place to film is a challenge, but I'm still working on a couple of those. Um, of course, I'll be here on Wednesday doing my live. Um, Hopefully, I'll have some more finished objects or another whip or something to show you next week. Although I'm not told how many times can I say in 5 seconds or in 5 minutes? Good God, even I'm annoying myself with it. Let's see. That's about it that I can figure off the top of my head. I feel like I'm forgetting something now. Monday management, Wednesday live, working on tutorials. I have a couple more patterns that are going to be out on Etsy and Coffee. The flower bookmark will be on both Etsy and Coffee, or Ko-fi, however you want to say it. And I have another pattern that I'm going to upload as well. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. Not that that's not enough, because I think the rest of this week I'm going to dedicate to finishing my final paper and making sure that my A is secure in this class, because I really want to make sure that I'm keeping my GPA up going into these last two classes. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Wait, what are you guys saying? Congratulations, Miss Monkey. That was me. Remember to take time to breathe. What's that? Can I do that while I'm sleeping? Because that's pretty much the only time I'm going to have to do it. Kathleen shared both the videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Catherine saying, sorry, yes, I will go watch it. Thank you. And VJ finished her hat. Yay! She just has to weave in the ends. Awesome sauce. Everybody saying cool to VJ. And VJ saying thank you to everybody. And with that, I am going to get out of here because I am starving. And I need to go research for this paper. And I'm probably going to work on this a little bit more. And this may be an early night for me to go to bed because I'm tired already. And it's just 10 o'clock. And normally I'm not heading to bed till 3 to 4, but this may be this may be a midnight kind of going to bed thing, or at least going upstairs. I may take my crochet upstairs and like watch YouTube videos and crochet till I fall asleep, but we'll see. But anyway, you guys could have been anywhere on this planet or anywhere on YouTube for the last hour, but you decided to be here, and I appreciate that. We're at 451 subscribers. So we are headed towards the 500. Like I said, once we hit 500, we will have a giveaway. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button before you leave so that the algorithm doesn't forget me and YouTube thinks people like me. You do like me, don't you? Please say you like me. Lie if you have to. Anyway. And if you're new here and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to it and hitting the bell icon so that you'll know when I go live and when I post videos. Again, I post Management Monday videos on Mondays. Why do I keep tripping over that? I go live on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I put out a video tutorial when I have a chance. But thanks for being here. It was fun as usual. And I will see you around the Yarny streets. And I will see you in the video on Monday. And if nothing else, I will see you here next week. Same time. Night, everybody. Bye.